In today's video, we're installing LCI taillights in my M235i. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name's Josh. So we recently just installed the MST Air Intake, the MST Turbo Inlet pipe, and the Turbosmart blow-off valve on the 235 behind me. And as you can tell by those sound clips, the car sounds absolutely fantastic. So huge shout out to Kies Motorsports, because those little things, well, not little things, but a blow-off valve little thing goes such a long way. The car sounds absolutely fantastic, as well as no more turbo lag on the car, which I'm very happy with. The car is way more responsive now, as well as with the intake and inlet sounds fantastic. But that's not what today's video is about. Today we're installing the LCI taillights like previously mentioned. I held off on this install for a while because it's not in a plug and play system. The OEM pre-LCI taillights are an 8-pin plug connection, whereas the LCI taillights are a 6-pin. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of repinning, so the new plugs, as well we're gonna have to do some coding. So we got Kies Wi-Fi adapter, the brand new, all new Wi-Fi adapter from Kies Motorsports, to do some coding. So let's get started. Alright, so here they are, the pre-LCI taillights on all the 2 series. Yeah, they're not bad. They're definitely pretty nice, as we got the F30 in Melmore metallic red over there. Stay tuned for some more videos on that, as we got a bunch of F30 stuff coming. But the pre-LCI taillights, they're nice, they're pretty cool, they're alright, they're sleek. But the only bad thing is they're not LEDs, they're not the LCIs, they're not as sleek. I mean, obviously you want the functionality of a taillight, but you also want that aesthetic appeal, which these LCIs bring completely. The LCIs are just massively upgraded to just full LED bars. So we got full LED bars here, full LED for the brakes. These just look a lot nicer. The only bad thing about these is, so with all these are non-LEDs, so we're gonna have to do some coding to the LEDs. So then the only bulb that is not LED is the reverse lights, which we have some upgraded LEDs for the reverse lights right here, as well as here is the pin connections we're gonna need. As like I previously said, the OEM pre-LCI taillights are an 8-pin connection, whereas we're gonna have to repin to a 6-pin connection. And then it also has a bunch of pins just in case anything goes wrong, but we shouldn't need to use any of these. Should be able to just take out the pins from the old harness, plug them into the new harness. I'll have all the directions and everything. I'll list them up on the screen, as well as provide everything in the description down below. But I'm very excited. The LCI taillights are so nice. I've had my eye on these for so long now. It's gonna give the rear end a little bit of the uplift it needs. So I'm very excited. So with getting started, we're going to go ahead and open the trunk, and there's 2 10mm bolts that we need to release. So then, as you guys can see, there's a flap here, as well as a flap down here that we're going to go ahead and pry open with a small flathead, releasing access to these 10mm. And then safely put these 10mm screws aside, as we will be reusing these. With a microfiber towel and a plastic trim tool, gently pry out the taillight. Alright, so as you guys can see, here is this 8-pin plug. I'm going to take a flathead and gently pry out this light gray tab. And once this pops out, should be able to just slide the whole plug out. Go ahead and release the 2 tabs holding the wires in, and gently pull out the plug. So then here is the 8-pin plug connection going into the pre-LCI taillights. compared to the 6-pin plug connector for the LCI. So as on the back of the OEM light, here's the plug right here. We're gonna have to go ahead and swap over this black housing, and then let's get to repinning. Alright, so here we got a side-by-side look. We got the OEM tail light and the 8-pin plug right here, this LCI light, and the 6-pin plug right there. We're gonna go ahead and swap out the reverse light. So the reverse light right here, we're just gonna spin and twist it on out. It should just come right on out. So here is the LCI bulb, which is the only bulb in the LCI kit that is not LED, but we're gonna go ahead and swap this one out for an LED. The only bad thing is you cannot reuse the pre-LCI reverse light bulb, as the LCI bulb is a little bit different than its counterpart pre-LCI, but I'll have links in the description for applicable LCI bulbs. So then here's the new LCI bulb, the old bulb that goes into the LCI taillight. We're going to go ahead and replace that at this time. So gently slide this on out, it'll pop right out. And then make sure to hold from the bottom, slide this on in. And you'll hear it click right into place. And then as simple as just finding the right orientation, we got the tabs up top and on the bottom that'll fit up here. Gently sliding this back on in. So then one thing I noticed to be mindful of is just to double check the pins. I'm trying to get up all in here so you guys can see. Hopefully you can see this. But the pin all the way to the left is like a tiny bit bent. So we're going to go ahead and straighten that out. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. But definitely just be mindful of that, because we definitely wouldn't want to plug that plug in with a bent pin. Alright, so I just took 2 flathead screwdrivers, just kind of like touched them up together, just flatten that last pin out all the way to the left. That's a little frustrating, it came like that, a little bit bent. It's probably still a tiny bit bent, but at least it's looking better in the right orientation. So I'll have a description of the pin orientation down in the description, like I said, but I would also just suggest taking a few pictures of this just for safety precautions and just to make sure you know the orientation from the old and for the new. So this time we're going to get started with repinning. At this time, gently pry open the 2 tabs with a flathead screwdriver. Using a pick tool with some pressure applied, gently slide out the pin from the top. Alright, so got all the 6 pins removed. We're gonna go ahead and leave in the black and blue and the yellow and violet plug, and then I just close these 2 flaps up here back up. We're gonna tape this off, so just have a little bit of patience. I was just pretty much starting from the very top and just gently with a pick tool sliding everything down, and then you can, once you have a little bit of green exposed from the bottom, you can just slide right out with a little bit of a pull. So this time, let's get started with the repinning with the 6-plug adapter. So then with the 6-pin adapter, you're going to want to go ahead and pull out this little purple piece, so that way when we go to plug everything in, we can then push this back in to lock all the plugs in place. Cool thing about this is, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's really small, but up in here, each pin, it's actually numbered 1 through 6, so be mindful of that. I think you guys can see that. Alright, so then based off directions, pin 1 into the 6-pin adapter is going to be the gray and pink. So we'll try to orient these. So here we got gray and pink. We're going to go ahead and make sure we're going into the number 1. And then you'll know the pin's in all the way because you'll hear a little click. So then pin number 2, black and gray. So then pin 3 is brown. Now definitely don't just force these pins in. Once you get it in the right direction and the right orientation, it'll just slide in nice and smooth on its own, so don't force it. And then again, you'll hear a very faint, tiny little clip in, and that's how you know it's in. Alright, so then pin 4 is the gray black LED bar. So that's over here. Alright, so then here is the appropriate orientation. Make sure to just look from the front, and you'll see that they are all the way to the edge. And then you can go ahead and make sure slide over the purple piece and just lock everything on in. And then we're just going to go ahead, as this isn't being reused, go ahead and clamp this down. We're going to tape this off and then just leave this to the side, and this side should be good to go. And then just also side note with the repinning, I found it was just a lot easier to just go from the very top with your pick tool and just slide down as gently as possible with obviously a little bit of force, not too much force, and then you can just slide everything on out. And then the plug's only going to go in one way. Oh, and speaking of more mods, another mod that I didn't film because it's not fully installed yet. This is a project for my dad and I to install this K-brace. It's only halfway installed right now, but yeah, stay tuned for that as we got a bunch of stuff coming. It's really just a matter of making the time to film and edit and get all these videos out, but we got a ton of stuff coming. And then one of the most satisfying parts. Come on, you can't lie, that's so satisfying. So let's work on this driver's side and get these installed. Alright, so passenger side is installed. We're going to do a quick test. So let's unlock the car. We got the LED on the right side lit up. It already looks a lot more illuminated and brighter than the pre-LCI, so I'm going to go ahead and lock the car now. Nice. It looks great. So already you could definitely tell a huge difference in just the vibrancy of the LEDs. It's a lot brighter. Oh yeah. So sweet. These look fantastic. Long overdue. And then here I am, the clean freak I am. I gotta get this cleaned up. Just a little gross, especially up here. A little gross. Well, we got an install buddy helping out with the install. It's been a while since my neighbor's cat was featured on the channel. He's coming to say what's up. This is Barnaby. He just wants to come help with the install for a little bit. It's been a while since he's come to help me out. Usually he'd be jumping in the car doing something, jumping in the trunk. Gotta love him. Alright, so just started off the car, tested everything out. Everything does seem to be working a-okay. The only thing is if you don't do the necessary coding to code in the LED bulbs, you're going to get a whole bunch of dash lighting up, right lamp malfunction, this lamp malfunction, that lamp malfunction. So the car will yell at you if you don't do that coding. So at this time we're going to hop into that, do that right now. Let's get started. Alright, so then using the all new Kies Wi-Fi adapter and BimmerCode, we're going to go ahead plug in the Kies Wi-Fi adapter in our OBD. Seatbelt on. And then accessory mode, so stop start. Click one time in this car. I'm gonna go ahead, fire up BimmerCode. So yeah, so right now the car's yelling at me. We got some lamp malfunctions. We're gonna go ahead, clear that up. So we're gonna connect. So then make sure to have Wi-Fi on. Go to the Kies network, type in the password Kies1234. Once we're connected to the Kies network, we're gonna go ahead and connect into BimmerCode. We're gonna hop right in. We're in the 2 series today. Continue checking terminal status, identifying control units, and this just shoots right on in. This used to take a little bit to load. Same with the front electronic module, and now it just shoots right on in, which is awesome how fast it is. So we're gonna hop right into the rear electronic module. And look how fast that is. It's crazy. That was what, 2 seconds? So we're gonna scroll all the way down. Alright, so it looks like BimmerCode has updated some stuff and it's throwing me off. We were looking for the voltage monitoring, which appears to be in expert mode now. So let's just hop right in on the expert mode. Alright, so then we're looking for 3061 LCI output channels. Alright, so then it's SL L Cultiberg. So then SL L Cultiberg Chung. Good thing I can pronounce that. So this is set at not active, which is what we want. So just to make sure that we want all this to be not active. So then SL warm, not active, and then we want the LEDs, so we're looking for SL L IS LED, that's active. Alright, so then SLR, I can't pronounce any of this, so all of this not active. The warm, not active, that's what we want. And then the SLR IS LED, we want active. Alright, so that's exactly what we want. So then scrolling down, SL2 Cultibergawachung, we want not active. So here we're going with not active. Let me go double check that. So then yeah, not active, not active, not active, not active. Okay, so then scrolling down to 2 SL2 SL not active, SL2 warm chung. So obviously we're gonna go ahead and assume that's the warm monitoring. I'm gonna go ahead and make that not active. Then SR LED. Now we need to make this active. So the SL2 LED left is active, scrolling on through. So then SL2R culture something something something. Need to make this not active. SL2 warm, not active, and then the SL2R LED active. So then scrolling through some more. Now we're looking for BL culture, all this good stuff. This all needs to be not active. So then the warm, not active. LED, active. Scrolling on through to BLR. Go through, not active, not active. LED, active. So all this is for the voltage monitoring, which it used to be just right as soon as you click the rear electronic module, but now it's in expert mode, so no big deal as we continue on through. Now we're looking for BFD Kaltuberg Wachung. Completely butchering that. That's right here. This all needs to be niche active, so not active. Active. BFRL warm, not active. BFRDLIS LED active. Going down and then to right, so BFDR not active. BFDR warm, not active. And then BFDR LED. So a little bit of a lot, but no big deal. This needs to be active. And then as we keep going through, we are looking for NSL. So NSL Kaltuberg Wunge. Good thing I can pronounce that. So NSL not active, NSL warm, not active, NSL L LED active. Then we're doing the same thing, NSLR not active, NSLR warm, not active, NSLR LED active. We're getting there. So now we're looking for FRA. So it's pretty much the same thing, just now FRA, HL, culture, all the good chung stuff. Not active, warm, not active, LED, active. And then FR, AHR, not active, warm, not active, LED active. So then that should be good in here. So let me just go double check. So then FRAHRIS LED active, hop out. Now we're going to 3062 LCE lamp mapping 1. We're looking for mapping Bremsel L. So mapping Bremsel, a little bit of a scroll looks like. Alright, so mapping, here we are with B. So we're looking for mapping Bremsel L, PWM, so it looks like right here maybe, PWM level 1. So this is all going to be set to 12 voltages. This all needs to go to 13.7. So then mapping Bremsel L, mapping Bremsel level 1 for L, mapping Bremsel level 1 for right. So then mapping Bremsel R, PWM level 1 needs to be 13.7 as we can continue. Mapping brake force, scroll down a little bit more. All right, so then mapping brake force LPWM level 1. That's at 12.8, but that needs to be 13.7. All right, I'm just out of curiosity. All right, just gonna click level 2 just to see what that does. Level 3. Okay, so you can't really change much besides some custom values there. All right, so then mapping brake force R level 1, PWM brake force R. 12.8 again. This needs to be 13.7 voltages. Now we're looking for mapping blinker. Mapping blinker. Okay, here we go. Mapping blinker. This is HL PWM level 1. That's at 13.8, so we're gonna go down to 13.7 again, as this is all going to 13.7. Now we're looking for a mapping blinker R. So mapping blinker HL, mapping blinker HL PWM. For sure it's HR. Go to 13.7. Mapping blank level 1. So this all needs to be 13.7. Mapping blinker. So yeah, a lot back here, so I'm just out of curiosity, just checking a bunch of stuff. So now we're going to 3063 LCE lamp mapping 2. We're looking for mapping Nebel something something and a bunch of something. Alright, so mapping Nebel LPWM level 1. So right here again, this is supposed to be 13.7, so I'm not seeing this option, so I'm going to go out and double check this. So mapping Nebel L PWM, so Nebel L PWM level 1. So let's see if I click custom value. I don't want to start typing in custom values. We're just going to go with 13.8 voltages there, even though it's supposed to be 13.7. So 13.7 at 89. We're just going to go with 13.8. So then we're looking for mapping Nebel something R. Mapping Nebel something R. PWM level 1. Yeah, same thing. So we're just going to go with 13.8 for that. Hop back out. Hit code at the top right. Start coding. And if that's already done, that was super fast. The dash is going to light up. Going to get a couple error this, error that. That is all good. Clearing. Code successful. So I didn't even get anything light up in the dash. The coding of the control unit is completely successful. We are done. Let's hop out of BimmerCode. Alright, so all in all, install, not too bad at all. It was honestly a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. If I wasn't filming, I probably could have did the coding and the install all in about 30 minutes. It was really smooth. The only, not issue, but the only thing to be concerned with is just you got to be super patient with the repinning. I found for my car, there was one pin on each side that was a little bit of a headache to get out. The other pins, which just starting with the pin tool or the small pry tool I have, is going from the top and sliding them out. Most of them just slid right on out. There was one on each side that was a bit of like all right, I got to walk away, take a breath, and then really breathe and do this, because I wasn't getting a little frustrated, but it was just a little bit more difficult than the other ones. But overall, smooth sailing, easy install, looks fantastic. The LED bulbs just look so much brighter. The taillights just look so much better with the LCI update. So I'm super content. If you like today's video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to your boy. As always, links down for everything will be in the description. The Kies Wi-Fi adapter, the taillights, I'll have part numbers, as well as the instructions to this whole project. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to subscribe, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.